Hey guys, it's Mandy. I just filmed a video about this lovely plant, so if you're interested in seeing that, go check that video out. But this video is going to be all about cloth pads. So here's a few here. I'm not going to show you my whole stash. I have another video on that, so if you're interested in seeing all the pads I have and the makers, just go check out that video. It's a year older now, but it's still up to date. I haven't bought any new. I've restrained myself from buying more pads, and you can see in that video I have way more than I need anyway, so there wasn't really a need for me to buy any more. But I have been using cloth now for about 5 years, and before that I used disposables for about 5 years as well. So I just thought it was time for me to go ahead and make a video talking about all the advantages to cloth, and then just being really open and honest about what I think the disadvantages are. Alright, so advantage number one is that it allows me to have a lower footprint and just to have less of a negative impact on the environment. Disposable pads, disposable diapers, they take hundreds of years to decompose in the landfills. And when you think about how many diapers a baby uses or how many pads a female uses in her lifetime, that's a lot. And we're just filling up our landfills with diapers and pads whenever there's perfectly good and even better alternatives to those disposables. Okay, so my number two biggest advantage to using cloth is the comfort. When I used to use disposable pads, I thought that they were very uncomfortable. They sort of like bunched up and almost gave me kind of like a wedgie. I don't know if other people experience that, but that's what I felt like. Cloth pads don't do that at all. They snap onto your underwear or snap around your underwear, and then they just lay flat. They don't bunch up, they don't slide around, they just lay flat in your underwear. And actually some fabrics are actually really comfortable and soft. So for me, the comfort level of pads is much greater than tampons or disposable pads. The third advantage to using cloth is that you will save money in the long run. So up front, cloth pads can be quite an investment, and depending on where you buy them from and how many you buy, they can be quite expensive. But there are lower cost options. You can buy some for a pretty good deal on Amazon actually, and I'll link a few different makers and options down below, so if you're interested you can check them out. But my cloth pad stash is much larger than I need it to be. I find that I really only need like 6 or 7 pads, and I do rewash mine and reuse them during my cycle. But even with all the pads I have, I think I might have like 25, maybe even 30, but they completely paid for themselves in 2 years, and I've been using them for almost 5 years now. And I anticipate them lasting me another 5 years easily, because the ones that I wear the most, I don't notice any wear or tear on them yet. My fourth, and this is one of the biggest advantages for me as well, is that cloth pads are way more absorbent than disposable pads. My first day of my period is super heavy, and in the past when I used disposables, I was so paranoid about bleeding through all the time, and that paranoia came from a place of like there was reason behind it, because especially in the first few years of my period, I did bleed through several times, and that's like every girl's biggest fear, is being out in public and not knowing that you've bled through your pad. With cloth, even though they're not waterproof, but you can buy waterproof varieties, so if you are concerned about that, you can go ahead and get one that does have waterproof backing. None of mine have waterproof backing. They all have like a water resistant backing, and I have no idea why, but the name of the fabric has just escaped my mind, and I'm kind of embarrassed about that because every pad addict knows the name of this backing, but it's water resistant, and I have not once bled through with cloth pads. I just find that they're so absorbent. All right, so now for the cons, and in my opinion, there's really only one negative to cloth pads, and that's the cleanup. So obviously with disposables, when you're finished with it, you just throw it away. You don't ever think about it again. But with cloth pads, you have to wash them when you're done. And it can be harder. Well, it is harder, but that can even be, it's easy if you're at home. For me, I really just rinse it and throw it in the washing machine. If you're out and about, that means you have to take your pad, fold it up, and put it in what they call like a wet bag, and then when you get home, rinse it. Some people do a more thorough cleaning job because they want to ensure that their pads don't stain. In the beginning, I did do all that as well, and I found it was really easy to keep my pads from staining, but as I went on with life, I decided, hey, they're my pads. If they stain, they stain. I don't really care. I'm the only one using them, and I would like to cut out some of these steps of cleaning and taking care of my pads. So really, I just rinse them in the sink until all the water comes through clear, and then I throw them in the washing machine, and they clean really well that way. I rarely have staining even doing that. So the cleanup definitely is a negative, but I think the benefits of using cloth just significantly outweigh the disadvantages. And I hope if you're not already a cloth pad user or a reusable menstrual product user, then I hope this video persuaded you to maybe give cloth pads a shot. Just buy one, start with one, and I think you'd be surprised at how much you like them. So anyway, check out the links below, and I'll see you next time.